As one of the classic trails in Zion National Park, the Emerald Pools Trail features breathtaking scenery, glistening pools, and sparkling waterfalls. After a tasty and refreshing ice cream at the Zion Lodge, you can head directly across the street and cross over this bridge to start this hike. If you're going to be taking the shuttle through the park and you want to do this hike, you need to get off at stop number 5. I know that most of the hikes that we feature on this channel have a fairly easy way to give you the overall distance, difficulty, and elevation gain, but this one's a little bit different. The length and difficulty of this hike will change depending on which pools you're hoping to visit. The hike we're doing today is the longest loop, and it has a distance of 2.4 miles and an elevation gain of right around 400 feet. The first stop along the way is the lower pools. If you just go here and head back, you're looking at a distance of right around 1.2 miles, and the trail will be rated easy. Even though this trail is called Emerald Pools, the stars of the show in our opinion are the waterfalls. One of the coolest things about the lower pools is that you actually get to hike behind the waterfall. You might get a little bit wet depending on if the wind's blowing or not, so be prepared for that. Things can also be a little bit muddy and slippery here, so don't be afraid to use that handrail if you need to. The trail is really well marked, and you should see signs pointing you towards the middle and upper pools if you decide to continue on. And this is where the elevation gain will start to kick in. If the trail isn't too crowded, be sure to take a couple of mini breaks as you climb the stairs, because there are some really pretty views of the falls from here. And there's also a viewpoint if you make it right at the top of the stairs. This detour won't add too much to the overall length of your hike, and it will take you to a couple of really nice photo ops. From the viewpoint, we are going to jump right back into climbing the stairs. We just finished Angel's Landing a little earlier in the day, so you can tell that V was very enthusiastic about all the stairs. If you're just planning to head to the middle pool and back, you're now going to be looking at an overall distance of 1.8 miles, and the trail is going to upgrade from beginner to moderate. At the top of the stairs, we came to a fork where the Emerald Pool Trail met up with the Kayenta Trail. If you want to go to the middle pools, you will be making a left here. And 1/10 of a mile later, you will be at the middle pools. In all honesty, this was probably our least favorite out of the 3, but it still had its really pretty parts. We didn't spend a lot of time there, and soon we were on our way to the upper pool. Doing this will elevate the trail all the way up to the strenuous level, and you're now looking at an overall hike of 2.4 miles. But on a positive note, it is pretty hard to miss the giant waterfall at the end of the canyon. That is where you're heading, so with that in mind, you'll always know how much further you have to go. This is the most picturesque out of the 3 falls, so if you have the energy in you, I would recommend going all the way up here. And not only was it pretty, but it had a little bit of a bonus surprise for us. We shot this video at the end of March, and things were a little bit chilly. Because of the cold temperatures, as the water rained over the waterfall, it was freezing on its way down to the pool. This created a giant pile of snow at the bottom. This was actually the second time that we were able to witness this type of phenomenon, and it was definitely the biggest pile of snow that we'd seen created this way. It had even accumulated on and frozen over some of the nearby trees. Please note that even if the water is not frozen over when you visit, that there is no swimming allowed in these pools. This is a fantastic spot to stop if you brought a lunch. And after a nice snack and a break, we said goodbye to Dylan the squirrel and headed back down the mountain. You can do this trail as an out and back, but we wanted to see everything that we could, so we ended up doing the full loop. The good thing is that besides a little bit of scrambling to get you down from the upper pools, the trail is pretty much easy from here on out. And that good news could not have come soon enough, because with all the hiking that we had done this day, we were really starting to feel it. And if the fact that things are getting easier doesn't make you happy enough, you can also look forward to some beautiful views out over the valley as you make your way back down. After scrambling our way down the mountain for a little bit, we found ourselves at the junction. Turning left will take you back the way that you came from, but you're going to turn right if you want to complete the loop. Not too long after the junction, you will be crossing over the top of one last waterfall. Please be careful. Even though there wasn't a ton of water there when we visited, it was still quite slippery in a couple of spots. This is yet another beautiful viewpoint to take in. And if you're as tired as we were at this point, you'll be very happy to know that you're only 0.8 of a mile from the Zion Lodge. Besides a few stairs, it's pretty much downhill all the way back. You'll now be hiking directly over the trail that you took out to Lower Falls, so please be sure not to throw any rocks or anything else over the edge. We highly recommend doing the loop counterclockwise like we are in the video. As you will see over the next couple of clips, the hill that we're heading down is quite steep and muddy in certain spots, and I can't imagine that it would be very fun to climb up. Good shoes will come in handy in this section to keep you from slipping and sliding down the hill. As we hiked along, we noticed something on the trail that made us very happy, and that is the lack of trash. In fact, we didn't see any on the Emerald Pool Trail. So if you decide to visit, please be sure to keep this going and practice leave no trace principles. Zion is by far one of our favorite places that we visited, and we would love to see it stay pristine. Overall, this is definitely a trail that we think that you should do. Even though it is rated strenuous, it's not super brutal and the views are more than worth it. At the bottom of the big hill, you are a sharp left and a small stroll from being back to the Zion Lodge. And that is going to do it for our hike about the gorgeous Emerald Pools hike. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because those are the best things that you can do to support this channel. Check us out on Instagram at @thatadventurelife_official. And for all the information about this hike as well as other awesome hikes to do in Zion, head on over to thatadventurelife.com.